Hi everyone. So I'm going to make my quick plug for the way I did my action planning last year, which is through Google Calendar. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and then I'm going to show you how I use this through my computer and through my phone and how I shared it with my manager last year. So let me go and share my screen. So I love Google Calendar because it can sync with the account that you're using for the summer. So we're using our TFA emails, which has a Google platform on it. And I just like to streamline the software I'm using. So using Google Drive, Google Everything, I just like using Google Calendar as well. It keeps it streamlined for me personally. So to start, if you've used Google Calendar before, to create an event is pretty simple. So let's say, for example, just click on the box, and then let's say every day at 9 a.m., I need to check that the CTEs have submitted their attendance for their core members for that day. Let's check CTE attendance, create edit event. So I can make it a little more specific. I don't need to take an hour to do this, so I'll just put it for 30 minutes, just in case I have to go and follow up with people. I'm going to repeat this for every single day because every day I need to check that the CTEs have submitted attendance. Also, yes, I'm going to press done on that. So something that I like about this is that I can share with whoever I want. So let's say, for example, I want to share this with all my CTEs that on their calendars, if your school streamlines their action planning to Google Calendar. My school team, last year, everyone used Google Calendar, so that was really nice. So if we have that luxury again at your school site, then you can invite the guests. So let's say I invited a CTE, I'll just put my other email address there. And I can invite all these people so that they can see that every day at 9 a.m. I'm going to check their attendance, and it can remind them on their phones. I'll put a reminder to 15 minutes because in TFA time, 30 minutes is a very long time. So then I'm going to save that. Do I want to send invitations to guests? Yes, I do. Okay, so now it's already here. It's going to reoccur every week. So that's just simply how I create an event and how I use that to communicate with my team. And as a reminder to those involved in any action items I need other people to be a part of, to do the things I need them to do. So I'm going to go to a sample week from Institute. And you can see that some of my things are Institute from last year are still on my calendar. But I'm going to go to a sample week from Institute just to show you what's going on. So from a quick look, you can see there's a lot going on here. So I'm going to remove the CM calendar from this. So you can select which calendar. So last year I had my calendar, my school director's calendar, because she also used Google Calendar. And then I had a copy of the CM weekly calendar that was input into Google Calendar every week. So pretty much what I did is I would look, and I put my reoccurring personal items in there as well, because sometimes you need to remind yourself to take a minute. So I had my morning routine when I was going to wake up. I had Natasha time on Saturdays, and I also had my bedtime, and that was not as a non-negotiable for me last summer. I had my reoccurring meetings that I had for staff on the weekends and when we had our team meetings and so on and so forth. So I had all of my non-negotiable items in here to begin with. So then what I did was I would pull up my Chromebook calendar, and I did this before, so it's kind of hard to see, but I would just take, like, let's say there is a session that I really want to see because I want to develop as a teacher. So they would have the supporting bilingual learners session for core members on the Chromebook calendar. So I would go and copy that event to my calendar so that I can remind myself that I want to sit in that session with my core members. One, I just like to be around people, so I love sitting in sessions with my core members. And also, like, this is something I could take back to my classroom because I teach a lot of bilingual learners. So it's something that was really cool for me last year. I could also hide the CM calendar so that they're the things that I'm not going to take part in because I have to take care of my responsibilities as a SOM. I have that there. I also put in times to observe core members specifically. So I would put time to observe a core member and then each week fill in which core members were coming. I also put in when different people were coming to visit the campus and so on and so forth. So this is really nice for me to have just on my calendar. And again, if I need at a moment to figure out where my core members were, I could simply just pull up the CM calendar and know that, okay, like I'm currently looking at a system that Chrome put up last year. I can't find a specific Chrome member because they've not done it. I can go to World Cafe Protocol and find them in the specific room where this is taking place and find these Chrome members and have them take care of something as an emergency. So that was really nice. I'm going to pause sharing my screen here for a moment to show you how it looked on my cell phone. So I carry my cell phone around with me at all times. And so I actually had the Google Calendar app on my phone. And so I was able to just pull up anything I needed. So it was nice and organized and arranged for me to see everything. And also it had reminders. So every 15 minutes, when I set the reminders on the calendar app on my computer, it would show me those same alerts on my phone like 15 minutes before. So as I'm running around next to my computer, the app pops up saying, okay, it's time to go and check CTE attendance. It's time to go and do this in 15 minutes. So it always kept me on track with what I was doing. So you can't really see very well from there, but you can see on my phone how everything's color-coded the way I coded it on my laptop. And I knew that my school team, my school director had a specific color coding for different sessions. So different culture sessions were in one color. My personal items were in a purple color because that's my favorite color, and so on and so forth. So on my actual app, it's color coded just like it is on the website for different things. So I knew what each color meant. Whether this is what CMs are doing, so I need to do this, that's mandatory, that happens weekly, or something, and so on. I also really liked the Google Task, which I use very heavily along with my Google Calendar. So I'm going to flip back to sharing my screen to show that to you. So it's actually an add-on to Google Chrome because I just love the Google platform. But I just click on the tasks, and actually I can just add a task here if it's not something that I can add necessarily to the calendar. It just needs to get done at some point during the day, and I can set reminders for that. So you can see I have something still left here from last year, so I can clear those out because I'm pretty sure I completed them, over 11 months ago. But let's say, for example, a coworker comes up to me and says, my remote for my projector does not work. Can you help me get one? Then I knew that as soon as walking downstairs, more than likely 6 people were going to stop me on the way down the staircase for something else. So on the computer, well, if I'm at my computer, something comes to me, I can add get Courtney a new remote. I can add a reminder for that and a due date for it, and it can remind me to do these items. And so this checklist is always here on my laptop on Google Chrome wherever I need it. And it used to actually be attached to Google Calendar, but they've moved it since then. So actually back to my phone again, because again, I run around with my phone all the time during Institute. There is an app. And so those things I add to the Google Task actually adds up on my phone. So already, if you can see very well on here, it says get Courtney a new remote. And so it actually syncs between my phone and the computer instantaneously, and any reminder is set on the Google platform, it will load on my phone. And so I can add tasks on my phone as I'm walking, or my laptop, or anything, and that list is always there, and you can arrange it to any order that you like. So I'm going to share my screen again. So I'm going back and forth a lot. So in terms of sharing my action plan with my managers, it was really nice because you can actually just click the calendar and you can do share this calendar. And then I was able to just share this with people last year. So you can already see there's actually already people shared from last year on here. But this is my school director from last summer. So she could make changes, make comments, managing my sharing. So if she saw an item that didn't need to be done or so on and so forth, she could go into my calendar and maybe text me or just leave a comment that, hey, I'm joining in on this, I'm coming, take notes on this, please. She can add comments to my events and I can see them in real time. In addition to the real time, I shared that she was able to see where I was at all times of the day. So she also had the Google Calendar app on her phone, so she could pull up my calendar on her phone and see where I was or what I was doing at all times of the day. If I made a change, she saw that simultaneously. So that was pretty cool. In terms of reporting, I'm okay if you choose to use Google Calendars. You can just share your calendar with me, and that way I can see what you're doing in real time. I can pull up your calendar on my phone, or I can make comments or say, hey, I'm going to pop in at this time. Is that okay? or invite you to things and so on and so forth. So I really like Google Calendar for that, just for the simplicity of sharing and changes in real time, and the ability to cross it with your phone and make changes on your cell phone and or make changes on your laptop. So I really like that. So if you choose to use Excel and you're one of the people that are on secondary team, do what works best for you. Google Calendar worked best for me, and I will use it again this summer in terms of my action planning. So if I will share my calendar with those on my team so that you can know where I am or what I'm doing during the day if you need me. But if you choose to use Google Calendar, then we'll share each other's calendars and so on and so forth. If not, use the Excel form. They just submit that to me and make the changes as Anna explains in her other presentation. So that's my Google Calendar plug. And if you have any questions, please feel free to text me. I have my phone on me. Or if anything explain what's confusing, just let me know. I have my phone. You can email or text me at any moment. Calling won't work so well because I'm probably lining up for a roller coaster, but I can text you back. Okay. Bye, guys.